Welcome to Truish, your soft news bulletin delivered hot off the press to you by me, Daisy Maskell. And joining me as my expert correspondent, it's Alfie Dundas. Hello.
Hi, Daisy. Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well. It's good. It's the hottest day of the year.
It is.
So it's quite nice to be inside, to be honest.
Wait, hold on a second. What is the temperature out there right now?
Well, I say it's hot as the year, about 23 degrees, but London's gone feral for it, and it's nice to be in some aircon.
Are you someone that takes your shirt off in the UK and like is happy to walk around shirtless on the streets of London?
Daisy, I'm British. I'm not. There's way too much shame for that. I was just sat outside, like eating lunch before this in the sun, just sweating.
You just rolling up the sleeves.
Petrified to put shorts on, petrified to not wear a jumper, just all of it.
I feel like that's so anti-British though.
I'm not part of that. I know what you mean, where it's like sports fans that are just any excuse take their top off and have a pint.
I'm not reform.
In a pub. That's not me. That's me. You're talking to more of a theatre kid that wants to be inside, like, on my phone. I saw that the sun was up and I was like, great, it's a perfect day to stay inside and scroll.
What would you be doing if you weren't sitting in the corner of an office talking to me today?
You know how in a lot of cultures they get like 2 hours off in the middle of the day because it's physically too hot to work? That is my life.
You've deemed that.
I do a morning of emails and then I have a little siesta and a doom scroll. And I don't know if you have this as well, but like as someone that creates content online, I see that as work.
I get that. It's research.
An hour on TikTok for me, I'm like, well, I could have some really interesting thoughts here. I could write some jokes about it. I rarely do.
I get it.
But I see it as an hour of creative development.
I get that. What does your algorithm say about you? Is it quite indicative of your personality, of your likes, your lifestyle?
That's a good point. I don't know if I've noticed on Instagram now it's like telling me what my interests are.
Yes.
Something quite dystopian about being told what my hobbies are.
Yeah, I get that.
It's like, as soon as your hobby becomes work, you start hating it. And as soon as I used to love scrolling on Instagram, and now that Instagram's like, well, you're basic and you love stand-up, football and entrepreneurship or whatever, I'm a bit like, well, don't take the fun. I mean, don't take the fun out of it. I thought I'd curated this algorithm and that kind of communicates who I am as a person. Instagram's like, well, we figured you out.
You thought you were unique, Alfie.
I really thought I was the only person that supports Arsenal and likes millionaire success, Instagram inspirational quotes. And Instagram's like, no, you've just got these 5. It's the same way people don't like the idea that they're going to be on Hinge because they're like, well, I don't think I can be, my love life cannot be contained to 3 pictures and 3 lines on but you can. We all can.
Have you ever done a Hinge? Did you ever get into the world of online dating?
No, I was on Hinge and I was on Raya for a month.
Were you?
And absolutely nothing came of it.
I need to know because I haven't done any online dating. Online dating. It's not called online dating. Plenty of fish.
Plenty of it. Yeah, you're not sending in an application and then 6 months later finding out who you're matched with.
I haven't done any app or online dating, but Raya is always an interesting one. What did you have a fun experience on there? Are you allowed to say what you see or talk about your experience on Raya? I don't know. I feel like you have to sign.
No, if you talk about it, you get kicked off. But I'm not. I was on it for about 3 weeks in 2021. And to be honest, I don't know why they put me on it. It was before I started doing like comedy and online stuff. So it was a real joke that they let me in.
Did you see anyone on there?
The minute I went on it, they showed me like people that I'm 100% sure were not on it. You know what I mean? It was like,
really?
Because the whole thing with Raya, it always went viral because girls would find F1 drivers and football players. Yeah. And what I think Raya did was create fake accounts for those people. And look, I'd like to say that is just my opinion.
It's just a bit of marketing.
No, it's not defamation, but I'm sure that like, what's he called, Leclerc or whatever, has been paid to like just allow him to have an account, so that when you download the app, the first person you see, like the first person I saw was like Rata or like Madison Beer.
Stop it right now.
I was like, this isn't. I know that even I'm not deluded enough to think that that's in play here. Not
that it wouldn't make sense that Rata or Madison Beer would not have matched with you, Alfie, but it
does feel like that's what you're saying. That does. I mean, is that just me? That does feel like quite targeted straight off the bat. But I agree. But you didn't need to bring it up.
I'm trying to. I'm digging myself a bigger hole here. However, it does feel like I could see a world where that would be a genius marketing.
It's a great marketing move. I'm sure that they've paid someone like Madison Beer
a shit ton of money
like
to
a pin-up for like teenagers and young 20-year-olds. And I tell you what, I'm pretty sure I realised that. Download the app, open it, Madison Beer. I was like, not today. I'm not this foolish. no, because then they're like, wow, who is this guy? This guy's just said no to Madison Beer.
I like that.
I was on it for three weeks, and
really...
it was all like Dubai influencers that I'm self-aware enough to know I can't afford,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
but it's that thing where I liked to think that I was too complicated for an app, and so I sort of stopped. And I don't think I'm too complicated for an app, but I like to pretend like I think that.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea that TikTok knows who I am.
No, I get it. I so get it. I love that little conspiracy. That's really fun. I'm going to wormhole into that and start a big rumour. Alfie, I have to ask you, I feel like I've got a bit of an insight into your algorithm already, but I want to dig in further. What is on your docket this week? What have you got for me?
Now, okay, so I don't really know what a docket is, but I have got a grievance. Is that the same thing? Is that the same thing?
Give me a grievance.
Not to be unprepared, but so I do stand-up comedy and I gig a lot around Soho, and I see a lot of adverts for immersive experiences.
Yes.
And the weird thing that I keep seeing all the time that I have a real issue with is the Canary Wharf virtual clay pigeon shooting experience. Now, there's a lot there to break down, and I don't want to just be, pigeonhole myself as a posho and talk about shooting, but my understanding is that shooting is what posh people do. They go to the countryside, they sit in a field, they use a real gun, and they shoot, I imagine, at some point, a pigeon. And then someone was like, wouldn't it be great to do this without the pigeon? So they go to a field and they do clay pigeon shooting. So you're in a field, you've got a real gun, and then you shoot a clay disc. Now, someone has taken that a step further, and now you can be in a basement in Canary Wharf with a fake gun shooting at a fake digital clay pigeon disc on a screen, drinking an espresso martini.
Can I just say, as someone that is a certified or was raised as a certified povo, I've actually been there.
Get me off this immediately. Are you joking? You've been to the virtual...
I've been to the virtual clay pigeon.
You've been to the Canary Wharf virtual...
And I'm pretty sure it was in Canary Wharf.
Yeah, it is. It's in a basement in Canary Wharf. I see it every single day when I go into Soho.
I've
clay
been.
pigeon shooting is already virtual shooting experience. It's already fake. You're doing a fake immersive experience of an already fake immersive activity.
Yes. It was, from what I can remember about it, I mean, I don't know about too much about the real pigeon shooting, the real clay pigeon shooting, all this virtual stuff, but it was essentially a massive screen with a big projector, and we all sort of stood in a line and ate chicken wings and loaded fries. And
what flew across the screen? A disc.
A disc.
That's
flew across the
no.
screen.
See, I take a massive issue with this.
But it was a real gun. It wasn't a real gun. If there was no real bullet, you're not shooting at a wall. It was a fake. It was a pretend real gun.
Yeah, and it was a pretend clay disc.
Yeah,
which is already a pretend pigeon.
Oh my god, the money that I wasted my life.
I'll tell you why it annoys me is, but I don't like shooting. I'm not like, we should all go back to shooting. But I'm like, clay pigeon shooting should have been end off. It's like we don't want to kill the animals, so we're going to shoot clay discs, and then to bring it indoors really takes the fun out of it to me. Now you're indoors, and then the audacity to be like, we're going to put this on a screen. Yeah. We're going to shoot a fake image of something, but we're going to keep it as a clay disc. You could have that as anything. You could upload a picture of yourself and have yourself shoot across the screen, or your enemy, or your ex, or it could be anything. You could have world leaders shoot across the screen. Yeah, no, they need to stick that in the marketing, because that makes a lot more sense. But right now we're putting the simulation in a simulation, is what you're saying. Yeah. It's the equivalent of people watching people watch sport. Yes, it's like if I watched you watch Gogglebox. We've got a real problem here. Fuck. If you're live streaming Gogglebox on Twitch and I'm reacting to that and someone's watching that, at some point someone's just got to go and watch the original Netflix show. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I get it. It's like putting, when you put two mirrors facing each other and it's just that infinite loop. Yep, I get it. We've got two AIs talking to each other. Yep. And there's loads of these experiences popping up. There's another one I saw the other day, which is you can do the immersive Titanic experience. Now, I don't want to give any spoilers here for people that haven't seen the film, but that's not a fun... Who reads about the Titanic and then goes, I'd love to
I'd love to
felt what that was like.
experience that. Can I say one thing? So I get all of this. Although I did go to this immersive clay pigeon shooting, I completely stand by your point of, now that I'm thinking about it, why on earth was I stupid enough to spend any money going to that place? I don't know. However, there is something just on the Titanic simulation conversation. There is something that I am obsessed with, that I actually, you know, that those 2 hours in your day that you say you scroll TikTok for research purposes. This is what I do, but I go on this account specifically. Have you seen that AI woman that goes and visits different places in history?
Yes.
And one of them she did was the Titanic. And that is the account that I am obsessed with.
And you're right, that isn't even experiencing the experience of the Titanic in person. That is watching
an AI,
a non-existent human being experience a thing that you could go and virtually simulate.
And you're not into that either?
No, well, as a posh English person, I've been burnt twice by the Titanic. I mean, the Titanic was a ruse to kill some posh English people, and then the submarine to go visit the Titanic with the billionaires.
Stop it.
Fool me twice. That didn't work either. Third time's a charm. I see the Titanic immersive experience, like, I'm not fooling that for a third time. Posh and rich people, stay away from all Titanic-based activities.
So you're not into the virtual Titanic simulation. Would you have ever gone on that submersible Ocean Gate?
The one that blew up?
Was that a bit of you?
No, don't go and visit the site of a tragedy. I see the Titanic. The Titanic is my 9/11.
Yeah,
it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
What happened? Just great people we lost. And the submarine I have less sympathy for, because it was like, do you want to go to do this in a smaller container that is more likely to fail?
Yeah.
I just think I'm all for VR. Like, if I want to go do a virtual, but I'd like to go somewhere nice.
Not to essentially what is a bit of a like, when you do think about it, it's a bit of a sort of graveyard at the bottom of the ocean that people were going to.
You remember that graveyard? Do you remember
visit.
that ship that failed and crashed and everybody dies? Do you want to experience what that feels like? No thanks.
God, I will make another confession now. I am just becoming the worst person alive to you, Alfie. We couldn't be on different ends of the spectrum, is what I've identified. I actually, when I was looking to buy my first flat, when I moved out of my parents' house, I actually bought my flat because it was near a graveyard that I really enjoy visiting.
I don't know how long this runs for, but I don't think we have time to unpack everything you've just said, because that's fucked. Why? You wanted to live near a graveyard?
I've spoken about this so many times. It's actually insane how many times this comes up in conversation. But there is a graveyard that I used to visit a lot as a teen. It was just one of my favourite places to go to. I'd go there
that slide,
with a little cup of tea.
I'll pretend to understand that reference. Go on.
I'd find it just quite a fun, therapeutic, enjoyable experience. It was a nice day out for me, and so I said to myself at that point in my life, do you know what? It wasn't actually too far away from where I lived at the time, but I said, when I move out, I'm going to make sure that I am in walking distance of this graveyard, because I think it would be such a nice thing for me to live close by to. It's a lovely little place that I enjoy passing the time, and I would like to be in close proximity. So I did just that, and I now do live in walking distance of this graveyard, and I looked in that specific area to.
Well, I take it back. I think you'd love the Titanic immersive experience. I think it'd be right up your street. I think it might be a bit dull for you, all the screaming and all the sinking. You go, oh, everyone's still alive. What's the point of this?
Like shopping centres in the UK, they would have those simulation, those machines that you could pay to, I don't know, $5 to get into, and it would be like a roller coaster, and it would just shake you about for a little bit.
Yeah, but that, I mean, even as a child, I was not impressed by that.
Yeah.
Even as a child, you know, like, because you remember outside like supermarkets, they used to have outside like a big Tesco's, they'd have like that car that would just like rock back and forth.
Yeah.
You put like a £1 coin in it. My mum would give me a £1 coin. I go, I'll save that. I get 10% on that.
What is?
I was an 8-year-old with an ISA. I reckon I can get 5 to 10% on that minus fees. And like, what am I going to do? I've just come in a car. I got driven here in a car. I'm going to give you £1 to reenact that experience.
What about those machines? They weren't. I guess they weren't electronic, but you'd put the 20p pence in, and you would get the pleasure of not only getting the toy and the ball that would come out, but also the pleasure of turning the dial to watch your 20p.
Yeah, the twist mechanics was nice.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
like
that.
Yeah,
I found the toy underwhelming.
What were you like as
From
a kid?
a young age, I found, and I would judge. I'd see other kids lining up, and I go, "It's just another name and number. I'd see other kids. I go, one day you'll have an original thought. You'll get out of here. I was looking up at the sky.
Stop it right now.
I was looking up at the sky thinking there's got to be more than this.
What were you into as a kid? I'm just like fascinated to know, just for me to build a picture. What really got you going?
I was a particularly odd kid. There was some kid stuff that I liked. Like I liked anything that I could trade. Mm-hmm. So I liked match tax, Pokemon cards. Yeah. I used to steal them from people at break. I'd steal them and I put them in my shoe. Mm-hmm. And then I'd trade them back or sell them back the next day. I was a real shit looking back on it. But like anything where I could track the monetary value of something. When I was at school, we had like a retro craze of yo-yos. It's not I'm quite young. I don't know if I should be putting that out on the airwaves, but I wasn't around when yo-yos were first a thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who was? Was that not?
I just wanted to make it clear to our listeners that I wasn't around in the 1920s. I just want to make that clear. I've been accused of having Gen Z references in the past. But there was a rebirth of yo-yos in about 2011.
Yep.
Where we all got into it.
Yep.
And I shipped one from the US that cost more in postage than it did in unit cost. And I was livid when I found that out. I felt so guilty. But I'd saved up all these pound coins from supermarket trips over the years, so I was loaded. I didn't mind. We had yo-yos. We traded them for about 3 weeks. I traded my way to the top. I had all of them, and then no one wanted to play anymore because I had a monopoly. I had a monopoly on the supply. So I was just like a normal, friendly kid. Does that answer the question?
It does. I've got the picture. Do you still have the yo-yos? What did you end up doing with those?
No, I probably burnt them out of rage or something.
Well, I love it. I feel like the thing that's on my docket that I've been served quite a bit recently is in a similar sort of vein to yours. It's another bit of organised fun that I would love to get your opinion on now, Alfie, just knowing the sort of things that you are and aren't into. Have you seen these Date My Mate nights?
No, but that's I think I can figure it out.
So this isn't a virtual experience. This is a real life experience. So
great, good start.
It's basically a room full of people that I think they pay to be there. It is somewhat of a business, and they all sit in a room and there's a projector, and you can either attend as a pitcher or as a bidder.
Ooh,
and it means that
the vibes change slightly, hasn't it? This got slightly more trafficky quite quickly. What do you mean as a pick? You can be there as a picture.
What you essentially do is, if you are a pitcher, you stand at the front of this room and you pitch your friend to the rest bidders of the room. in the room, and
you're all single.
You're all single, and they get to decide whether they want to date your friend or not.
And what do they bid with?
No, not yo-yos. Did you say
cash? Like what? Yeah, what are they trading with? How many yo-yos do I need?
I don't necessarily know that they're bidding with any money, because that feels like we're going into sort of a different type of
throwing
trade
their hat in the ring.
I think they're probably they're throwing their hat in the ring. Yeah. I guess bidding on the chance to date this friend.
Yeah.
If they are therefore interested. Is this your type of thing? How would you feel about your friends pitching you out? Are you in a relationship?
I'm in a relationship and I'm very happy. I should put that out.
How would you feel about your friends doing this when you were single, or would you ever do this for any of your single friends?
I tell you what, I'd like to do this for some of my friends.
Would you?
I think I could get quite into the sort of grooming and like procuring. These aren't good words I'm using, but you know what I'm trying to say. The fluffing up of my friends to put them on the pedestal.
Okay, right.
And then I'd be quite good, I think, at drumming up.
Actually presenting the presentation.
I'd be very good at ignoring their major flaws.
Okay.
And I'd be very good at turning their quirks into something that seems cute but is actually going to fucking annoy you in 6 months' time. I've got a lot of single friends at the moment. I don't know what that is. And I like the idea. I do like those in-person date organization things. I see them online where it's like you have to bring single friends to a dinner.
Okay, yeah.
Someone like documented one of those recently.
That's cute.
And that's quite fun. I like the performance aspect of this.
Yeah.
Is there a PowerPoint on the stage behind them with some key information?
Oh no, it's a full presentation. So you've got your screen, the projector. You'll bring along your little PowerPoint, and each person will take it in turns to.
I like this a lot. I could see myself getting into this in a sort of management role.
Okay.
Wearing a suit, being on the sideline, and then getting really stressed whilst I wait for the offers to come in. And if the offer doesn't come in, taking my boy under his wing and go, we'll get him next time. that pep talk. Immediately after, it's just silent in the room.
Because I think it is actually really true. Because I think with this as a situation, it is kind of less about the single friend that you're pitching, and actually more about the pitcher. Because you would be, I imagine, would be great at pitching your
Very
friends,
good.
and as you said, making them maybe sound a bit more interesting than they are, smoothing over
100%.
any sort of cracks or areas of
Tell you what
damp.
I'd
You'd
do.
be a good estate agent too, Alfie.
I'd study the room. I'd need a guest list of the room before
Yeah.
we start, and I'd figure out what all of them are missing and where they're sort of their trauma lives, so I can get them
Yep.
codependent on my boy before I've even entered the room. I know what everyone's looking for in that space, and then I can tailor the pitch to the crowd because there's only so much you can do with a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can only wrap them up to a certain degree.
Yep.
But if there's not a bit of interest in the room that we can ply into,
Yep.
I'd love it. But I would get quite competitive with it.
There's only so much glitter, I guess, you can put on a shirt.
And
in
if
honesty.
if multiple people are like, yeah, I'll take that, what happens?
Oh God!
Do you on stage then do we get to pick?
I think the friends also see. This is the thing. I think there are certain nights where the single friend attends. I think there are certain nights where the single friend that is being pitched gets to decide. But I think there are some nights where it's just all in the friend's hands. So you would get to decide who you want to set your friend up on a date.
So my friend might not even be in the room.
No,
I particularly enjoy
You
that.
like that?
I like that a lot. That's great. It's like Dragon's Den.
it is like Dragon's Den.
That's
Yeah,
good.
it is.
Because I'd like, if I can get a few offers in for my friend, I'd like to then go to the back of the room and have a
Be
conversation
the
about
Deborah
it.
Meaden.
We're wondering if you do a split deal here. Weekends and weekdays.
What would you say is your best asset that your friend would pull out to
For me?
to really enhance in a pitch in this sort of way?
Well, I think, as we can tell from the last 20 minutes, just a normal, delightful 26-year-old boy. I mean, there's nothing more to say, really. He's not going to take you virtual clay pigeon shooting. And he will spend 2 hours a day in the middle of the day scrolling on TikTok. I don't think women want much more than that.
Loves a
to be honest,
siesta.
that's what I've learned.
Yeah.
I think my friends would say, what is good about me? It's a good question. And I'm going to have to come back on it. I mean, I don't think I'm uneligible. Is that the word?
Mm-hmm. You're an
I think I'm eligible.
You're an eligible,
eligible bachelor.
Yeah. Is there anything for them to gloss over that you think, oh, do you know what, I would probably I would tend to hide that on the first, second, third date?
I don't think I would hide anything. I think I work nights and I tell jokes, and I think that's quite icky. Mm-hmm. I think if you are not into stand-up, or if you're into stand-up, you don't like my stand-up, which is very common, then you're going to get pretty icked out pretty quickly. Because it's like, if you're in a band, that's really cool. And even if the band isn't that great or that famous, it's still cool. Like, they can still play covers at the back of a pub to 50 people and everyone's like, that's great.
Yep.
Who cares if they make it or not? He's got a guitar.
Yep.
Whereas if you're sort of telling Princess Diana jokes at the back of a pub and there's 13 people and they're not laughing, there's no way to sort of gloss over that. I'm watching Married at First Sight at the moment. The Australian maths.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
It's amazing because
Yeah.
this guy has just come in and he's just such an ick.
Yeah.
And she just can't get over it. And it's because he's like too theatrical. He
A
cracks
second.
too many jokes.
So what is it? Oh, it's Married at First Sight. I was thinking Love is Blind. I actually haven't
No,
seen Married at...
Married at First Sight is like they get married on the first date. They do get matched up based on certain criteria.
by these experts, right?
But every single time one of them is a bit theatrical,
Okay.
they get divorced.
Really?
So I am slowly learning that any kind of joke making at the wrong time
Okay.
is an immediate ick.
So that's really interesting that you've seen that kind of play out in real time.
Yeah.
So we're basically saying that a relationship or a marriage will never work unless both kids are theatre kids.
No, I think theatre kids should be single and die alone. Sorry, I'm being misconstrued. I'm not. This isn't a "there's a someone out there for everyone" conversation. This is, if you're too theatrical, just stay at home. Or if you're that theatrical, just play someone else. What I don't understand about actors that can't just be like, why don't you just imagine that you're a sufferable person? You know what I mean? Like, why don't you just imagine that you're like when you see an actor and doing an interview or like a red carpet, or they do a speech and they mumble through, why don't you just pretend like you're a good speechwriter for once? Or they're in interviews and they're dicks. Why don't you pretend to be a nice person? That's what you're good at.
Oh, shit.
Why are actors awful, like off off stage, they're the worst people.
Off season.
And you're meant to be the people that can be anyone.
Yeah.
You're meant to be the shapeshifters.
Be someone else.
Just don't be a prick. It's not that hard. And if you win an award, just don't be surprised. Why don't you act like someone that was expecting an Oscar? That's another pet peeve. I don't know. This isn't a pet peeve show, but I've got a lot of shit to say.
Oh, dump it on us.
Sorry,
Alfie.
I had an iced coffee before this.
Absolutely dump it.
When you win an award, and I'm speaking directly to all the Oscar-nominated actors that listen to this podcast, can you not say that you didn't expect it? There were 6 people that could have won it. If my name gets read out, that's genuinely unexpected. If Paul Maskell's name gets read out and he was nominated, it's not unexpected. Prep a little speech.
You're a speech prepper. You would never get on stage without a speech prepped.
If I was nominated, Daisy, if I get cast in a film, the films, they're happy with me. It goes out. It's one of the few films that makes it to the cinemas. The people love it. 3 months before the Oscars, there's a bit of nomination buzz. A month before, I get the nomination. Now I'm in the running. I see that I'm second or third favourite to win it. I'm coming with a few index cards. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
I'm not getting there, sitting down, and then hearing my name read out and go, what the fuck? What? Me? Yeah. Yeah. Even if you didn't know until you got there on the day, it's a 3-hour ceremony. Figure it out a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't. And also, you're an actor. Pretend to be someone that deserves to win an Oscar for 1 minute.
I feel like you would have the best face for someone that didn't win in a category that you were nominated in.
What, just a massive frown? What?
People need to do that more.
People need to do
another thing. Because they're also actors. Like, why would you not play up being fuming?
I would love that. I would love that if me and a friend, because you know how they're all kind of friends.
Exactly.
If me and one of my friends both got nominated and then they won, knowing that the cameras are on me, I go, what? Really? Yeah. I didn't know he was nominated this year. And then that would allow him to then go and not have a speech prepared.
Yeah.
Because I'd have really drummed up the, what?
Yeah.
Paul Maskell was, wow. I didn't know he was still acting.
Okay.
Which film? I'd look around as well. Which film? I'd be asking the people around. Who? That's good. And the Oscar goes to Leonardo DiCaprio. Who? Leonardo. Oh, weird. I do that a lot. And then the kind of fake, slow, is that the right name?
Yeah.
And then he goes, and I go, oh, him. As he gets to the stage, oh, yeah. And then the applause would go. If I ever get nominated, I promise you I'll do that.
Please do. God, they need to stop taking themselves so seriously, right? That would make things so much more fun. All right, well, Alfie, I also want your thoughts on this. I've got a little scientific study for you now, so we're moving away from organised fun. This is something that was in the news actually this week, so you may have already seen it, but scientists have discovered a way to prevent seagull attacks. This group of scientists, they walked along, I think it was Brighton seafront, with googly eyes stuck to their ice cream cones, and apparently they saw that it reduced attacks by 50%. And they're suggesting that we should now start painting eyes onto the packaging of all seaside snacks. How do you feel?
No, I do think this is one of the most important things going on at the moment. So I'm glad you brought it up, because I don't think it's getting enough coverage.
Yeah, no, well, did you see it?
I didn't see this, no.
There you go.
There's a lot of, there's a war on, so I've been distracted, but
you need to get on.
This is important.
Hello.
There's a few things here. So someone clearly put forward a hypothesis that seagulls wouldn't eat ice cream if they thought it was a human. Because they don't attack like people with white hair.
This is the thing, because I thought the whole point was that they do attack, or do they just go for the food only?
No, they just go for the food. But the implication is, hey, if we can make this ice cream look enough like an old lady. Yeah. I'm amazed that seagulls can see eyes.
Have you ever been attacked by a seagull?
No, I've been down to Brighton. I've had seagulls eat. I mean, they are vicious in Brighton.
Yeah,
the seagulls.
Yeah,
not the people. They're lovely people, but the seagulls are horrific. But my understanding is that they go for anything. And weirdly, I think ice cream is sort of the last thing a seagull would want. I think it's the cone that they want, because they go for chips. They don't dive into the mayo.
They're carb heavy, aren't they?
They're
seagulls?
carb heavy.
Yeah.
Well, they're smart.
They like carbs.
There's not a lot of nutrition in a Mr. Whippy.
Yeah,
it's famously air. Like, I've seen how they make it. It's air and a bit of powder. I mean, they don't tell you that as a kid, but again, me, 6 years old, ice cream van. I hear the sound. Everyone rushes to the window. I go, don't get fooled by that.
What did you get? What did you get from the ice cream van as a kid?
Well, I used to, and this is it's going to sound really awful, but when it came to confectionery, I just wanted the most value for my money. So I'm not getting air and powder.
Like no arrows.
Mr.
Arrows were not a
Whippy.
thing for you either. No.
It's like buying a bag of crisps.
Honeycomb, I guess
buying
you
a
have a big
dream.
issue with too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like to bite something that's got air in it. What I did like was the little Calippo balls that were like frozen juice.
They were like
Great.
shots, weren't they? The
Shots.
Calippo shots.
You could open the little door,
Stunning.
open it up, because now
Stunning.
you've got something going on.
Yep.
That would last a while as well.
Yeah.
Or the is it the Calippos that you would like? You could eat, but then it would melt, and then at the end you could just drink the juice.
The ones in the tube.
The pouch,
yeah. The classic.
like a frozen fruit situation,
yeah,
but
yeah,
for
yeah,
ice cream.
yeah. So you got 2 for 1. You've got your little ice popsicle, but then you've got a little shot of juice at the
And
end.
everybody with an ice cream, again, you're going to drop that.
Yeah.
You're not the smartest kid. You're going to drop that, and it's 50% air, if not more. But what I will say is, I didn't think seagulls were eating ice cream. I thought they were eating chips and fish, like fish and chips. You open it up, you're looking over the view, and then.
There you go.
This is an audio first medium, so I just wanted to give it a little soundscape for the look. Or this is a seagull going in for an ice cream and then seeing the googly eyes, and then walking away. Oh, it's got eyes. I couldn't possibly go anywhere near it.
So if these eyes are deterring seagulls, what would you say
only by
deters-
50%,
only by
by the way.
50% of seagulls.
Yeah.
What would you say deters you, Alfie?
From
What is
stealing a
it-
child's ice cream.
What is it?
CCTV, mostly, if I'm being honest. That and shame, I guess.
What just deters you? Because for me, something that would deter me from any situation will be condensation. And I spoke about this, I think, on last week's episode. If I see condensation on like a restaurant window or on like a bus or a mode of transport, that would deter me from entering. That's like
You don't like condensation?
I don't like that visual of condensation dripping down glass of an establishment or a mode of transport that I'm about to go into.
I do get that. If you get
Immediate
into
terror.
a cab and the windows are a bit steamed up, you're a bit like, what's going on here?
Oh, stop.
It's sort of a scene from Titanic.
Yeah.
Tie it all
Yeah.
together. I don't want to see someone make the food.
Yep.
I do eat meat, but I don't like to think about it. So I don't want to see the chicken, the beef, or the fish until it has been cooked and covered in other things so that I can eat it and pretend it's a whole different thing. Like, I don't want to see the raw. You know, when they bring you fish and the face is still on it.
Yep.
I'm like, we can get rid of that.
Oh, those restaurants where you can kind of cook things yourself at the table. You're not.
That doesn't interest me.
Okay.
When you go to, I think it happens more in European countries than here. But when they bring if you've got a lot of people and they bring the whole fish,
Yep.
you're basically having a whole fish.
Yep.
And they slice it open, but they also leave the tail and the face on,
I've seen.
as if to say, look, it really was a fish. And I go, I was never in doubt about where this came from. I was never in doubt about where the mahi-mahi came from. I don't need to look it in the eye.
See, that is just such a contrast to your from what I've learned about your personality on this episode, Alfie. Because to me, you come across as someone that you want to get your value for money. You want to know where your money is going, and so I'm so surprised that you wouldn't want the head and tail of the fish that you're paying for.
I'm paying for you to get the fucking eyes away from
It's
me.
the surface.
If I wanted to see a fish, I'd go catch my own fish. I don't. I want to eat fish that taste like chicken.
Yep.
That kind of just tastes like. I just want to eat salt. I want salt and bread. So can we speed up this process? It's like, why am I paying more to do the work? I don't want to, I'm paying you so I never have to see the eyes of the fish.
There we go. No,
That's part of my value for money.
I've got it now.
But anything like if the table's got a bit of ketchup on it,
Yeah.
I don't even, I mean, when people eat wraps or whatever and it gets messy, it's just there's not a single mess.
One of my biggest phobias is fridges. I really don't like fridges at all. I've got a really funny
Even
thing about
condensation is a really confusing.
I don't like damp, wet spaces.
You would just hate how all plants grow. I mean, if you saw the way we create rain, you'd be freaked out. What do you like about fridges? Condensation?
No, I just feel like, I think it is, maybe it's something to do with like molecules in the air. And I don't like the fact that fridges can trap odors and then that can infect and influence other foods. Like, I just don't like fridges. My fridge is so clean, glass Tupperware, everything. Like, I just can't do Yeah, that cross-contamination is like too much for me.
I don't mind that, but I don't have to think about that because I don't like putting leftovers in the fridge. Like, I'm not the kind of person to scrape all the leftovers into a bowl and be like, I'll have that tomorrow. And I'll tell you why, because I won't. Fine. I won't have it tomorrow. I'll forget and I'll go out. And then I'll come back to you later and I'll bin it. So I know it's bad, but I'm just going to bin it now. That's my... Like, I don't like when I see people's fridges and there's like 1/8 of an orange.
No.
And I'm like, just finish it.
No.
Finish it or bin it. There's no need. Where's half a tomato in the fridge? What? It's a tomato. It's not that. Half an avocado in the fridge.
By the time you also get to that half a tomato, you've got to cut another half of it off because it's been
what am I meant to have that with?
Dry.
What am I meant to have that with? It's like, oh, you're making a salad and I only need half a tomato. Just put the whole tomato in. What am I going to do tomorrow with half a tomato? Or 1 egg? There's 1 egg left in the tray. What?
I also get your point, though, that you said previously about not liking your food being touched or not liking to think about how many times your food has been touched. I actually do avoid certain foods because there are just certain things that have to be touched so many times.
Subway
like
sandwich,
sushi.
would you have that?
I don't mind that because there's gloves involved, but anything like
I don't know if it's
the idea.
I don't know if it's stopping much.
The idea.
I've seen those gloves. I mean, those you can. I mean,
yeah, they're kind of.
I mean, that is thinner than water.
Yeah, no, the idea of
so a sushi roll.
Touched,
you'd have an issue with a sushi roll.
I think I'd have an issue with that because I just know how many times that food needs to be touched before it reaches
See, as long
my
as
plate.
I don't see it. As long as I don't see it, it's done in the back kitchen. You bring it out nicely.
So could you eat? So there's a really sweet. I don't know why we're speaking so much about children on this episode, but there's a really sweet child, and they've just said, Alfie, look, I made this cake, and I want you to eat it. You would be okay with eating that cake? You know how many times a child touches.
What are you doing at my apartment? What do you mean? Some kids come up with me with the cake?
No, you've seen a kid as a
okay, here's what I will say. I'm no more impressed that you've made it. I'm going to judge it as if it's
But would you eat it?
I try it.
You would?
Yeah, as long as
you
I
would eat a child as a child
cake.
Made.
Yeah, like Hansel and Gretel, I'd eat a child cake. I know what you mean as in like the child's grubby, but presumably they've cooked the cake and it's fine.
But they've touched that cake. You know that they've touched that cake so many times.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't trust that that's any less contaminated than or any more contaminated than the cake I'm buying from Lidl.
Yeah. In your childhood, if you made a sweet picture or a pasta necklace and you took that home, were you told...
That's not going on the fridge.
Right, yeah, my mum was like that.
But it's not going on the fridge unless it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing I made that I gave to my parents, I was about 4 years old, and we had to make a self-portrait out of cutouts from a cooking book. So I had little potato eyes and I had carrots.
Wasteful.
Carrots around the chop up a cookery book. Well, an old food magazine.
Yeah.
Chop up. I had little parsnips as like the side of my head, and then I had a little sort of cashew nut mouth. It was very. Looking back on it, it's an impression. I mean, I was doing some interesting. There was some themes there.
Yeah.
There was something going on. My parents were like, that's shit. That. So I know it's shit, but I'm 4. I was I was like, I know that that's not the best thing ever. I'm 4 years old.
But you knew your ability, but you knew you had time to grow.
What I wanted to be judged on was improvement relative to my peers. I went, this isn't the best, but you see what Felix did? That's dog shit. That's not even proportional. I was like, look, it's not the best thing ever, but Matisse used to stick up things with a stick. There's a lot of history here. I've tried something. Should it go in the living room? No. Could it go in the downstairs bathroom? Maybe.
And where did it go?
It went in the downstairs bathroom until I did something better the next year, and then it got moved out to the shed. And I like to know where I stand, and that's where I stood.
I think that's a wonderful place to end this episode, Alfie. God, you've been such an interesting character to get to know on Truish today. You've really provided some giggles, I tell you. Please tell me what you've got coming up for the rest of the year.
Hell yeah. I am always doing shows around the UK. So if anybody wants to come and see a stand-up comedy show, they can. And then I'll be going up to the Edinburgh Fringe in August to do my debut hour of stand-up. Oh, how you... very important, very prestigious.
A little bit away, but how are you feeling? Do you get nervous for these sort of things?
Feeling good. No, not nervous. Really enjoying... I'm doing loads of previews and work in progresses of that show now. So I'm doing London, Bristol, Brighton, Manchester, more places to add. and just figuring out that show, and it's really fun.
If you were to sell your shows a similar way that you have been sold those clay pigeon shooting VR ads,
My
that you've
show
seen walking through
is
London,
like
how would you sell it?
the immersive experience of what a comedy show could be. Because you sit there and you go, it's not comedy, I can see that, but it has some of the same themes, and I feel a bit detached from it. And then if you watch my clips on Instagram, you're a level away from that, to be honest. It's very similar. It is, what I would say is my shows are a lot cheaper than the Canary Wharf virtual clay pigeon shooting experience. And there's a reason why. But I would say it's a far better night out, value for money. And at the end of the day, that's what I care about.
What a sell, I love it. Alfie Dundas, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.